Okay, so good morning, Prep 1. Today we are going to revise algebra. The first thing we're going to begin with is the rules, okay? So, for example, if I have a to the power of m times a to the power of n, when I am multiplying and I have same base, يعني ايه same base? يعني both of them are the same. So I'm going to make a to the power of m plus n, okay? And if I have a to the power of m divided by a to the power of n, again, I am dividing and I have same base. So because I have same base, I can go and subtract powers. So it is a to the power of m minus n. But please take care, for example, if I have a to the power of m times b to the power of m, here I have unlike bases. They are not the same. Since they are not same bases, so this means I will not add powers. تمام? And if I have, for example, a to the power of m plus a to the power of n, here the operation I am performing is addition. So I do not add powers. I add powers only when I am multiplying same base. When I am multiplying same base, I add powers. But when I am adding same base, I do not add powers. The same goes for subtraction as well. For example, if I have a to the power of m minus a to the power of n, again, I am subtracting. So I cannot subtract powers. So here I do not subtract powers. I only go and subtract powers when I'm dividing same base. So is this part clear until now? Or does anyone have a question? Okay, then the next rule we took that, for example, if I have a over b or raised to the power of n, here I go and I distribute the n on the numerator and on the denominator. So as a result, I'm going to have a to the power of n over b to the power of n. And what about if I have, for example, a negative number raised for a power? I go first and check الباور ده. If my power is even, well, even powers are 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. So my answer is going to be a to the power of m. النيجاتيف is going to be cancelled. كأن النيجاتيف مش موجودة عندي خالص. And if my power is odd power, والodd power ده زي 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and so on. So the negative is going to remain as it is. So until now, is everything clear? Or you need me to clarify anything? If you have a question, please raise your hand. طيب. Yusuf Girgis, now the question that you said, that you have 2 to the power of negative 2 plus 2 to the power of negative 2. Here, I am adding, okay? So, to answer this question, I'm going to find the answer of each one alone. 2 to the power of negative 2, this is equal to 1 over 2 to the power of 2 plus 1 over 2 to the power of 2. So this is 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4. Here I have, when I am adding fractions, I have same base, so the base is the same. And I go and make 1 plus 1, so it is 2 over 4, which is equal to half. Did you get it now, ya Yusuf? Okay, great. طيب, let's go now and revise the negative powers. Rules for the negative powers. Okay, so for example, if I have A over B, and this is all raised for a negative power. Negative power احنا قلنا مش بنحبها. We must to get rid of. How can I get rid of a negative power? Putting on a fraction, simply I'm going to find the flip of the fraction. And put the power positive as it is. So if I have a fraction raised to a negative power, what should I do? Just flip the fraction and get rid of the negative sign. And for example, if I have a to the power of negative m, to get rid of the negative m, I'm going to put 1 over a to the power of m. Right. The same goes is, for example, I have 2a to the power of negative m. I have a coefficient before the variable which is raised to a negative power. So to do it, a has a positive power, right? So it will remain as it is. And what's going to go down is a to the power of m. The same as well, if I have, for example, 2a to the power of negative 2, b to the power of negative 3. Here, 2 and b, both of them are positive, so they are going to remain up as they are, and the negative only is the one who's going to go down. Is this part clear? I'm going to check the chat. Okay, the same if I have 1 over a to the power of negative m. To get rid of the negative, I'm going to bring it up. So it is a to the power of m. If النيوميريتور عندي لو النيوميريتور بتاعي, for example, I have 3 over a to the power of negative m, and 3 is positive, so it will remain as it is. As a result, I will have 3, and a to the power of negative m is the one who's going to go up to get rid of the negative power. طيب, let us say that, for example, I have 3 over 2a to the power of negative m. اللي عنده negative power هو ال a. For this one, which is going to go up. So as a result, I will have 3a to the power of m over 2. يبقى النيجاتيف بس هو اللي بيطلع أو بيتحرك من مكانه، لكن البوزيتيف بيفضل في مكانه زي ما هو. ماشي يا يوسف, okay. So, البارت دي clear ولا في حد عنده أي حاجة؟ When I say, for example, I have a to the power of negative m times a to the power of m, this is going to equal 1. Why? علشان هما they are multiplicative inverse. عشان simply this is equal to 1 over a to the power of m times a to the power of m. So both of them are the multiplicative inverse of each other, so they are going to equal 1. We said also that when I have a to the power of m and all raised to the power of n. قلنا إن لما بيبقى عندي two powers كده, they fight together and I must to multiply them. So I'm going to have a to the power of m times n. ممكن لو جت as a rule في multiple choice, ممكن تلاقي multiple choice بتاعها مكتوب a to the power of m n. It have the same meaning. So again, if I have, for example, 2a to the power of 3 all raised to the power of 2, here I'm going to take the 2 and distribute it. مرة على ال 2 ومرة على ال a to the power of 3. So I have 2 to the power of 2 and a already have power 3. فكده عندي power power. So I am going to make 3 times this 2, which is the other power outside. Hope it's clear now all the rules. If anyone have a question in these rules, please raise your hand before we start answering. And I just want to add a small thing. Let me go up here. If I have, for example, a to the power of 0, this is going to equal 1. Anything raised to the power of 0, if I have a over b to the power of 0, this is going to equal 1 as well. But take care, even if this is a negative number, any negative number raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. But if the negative was outside of the bracket, then it's going to النيجاتيف دي هتفضل زي ما هي, and the answer of this bracket is 1. امتى؟ لما النيجاتيف يبقى outside of the bracket. لكن لو النيجاتيف inside of the bracket, still I am going to have 1. And we also said that, for example, if I have a variable and there is no power above it, this means this variable is to the power of 1. The same goes for number. If I have, for example, 2 and there is no power above it, it's 2 to the power of 1. And also the same goes for fraction. If I have 3 over 4 and there is no power, so this is 3 over 4 to the power of 1. I guess now we are ready to go and start a revision بتاعنا and solve examples. Anyone have a question? Let's go now and begin with number 1. 7x to the power of 0. What's going to be the answer of 7x to the power of 0? Ali?
1.
1. Anything raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. 2ab to the power of 3 over 3a to the power of 5b, all raised to the power of 0. This is going to equal Mona?
Yes. 1.
1. طيب نخلي بالنا من حاجة ممكن جدا في التشويسز ما يجيليش 1. ممكن for example يقول لي 3 to the power of 0. أي حاجة to the power of 0. Okay? It still have the same meaning. يعني لو في التشويسز بتاعتي ما عنديش 1 وعندي أي حاجة to the power of 0 يبقى this is going to be the correct answer.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Welcome. Again, anything raised to the power of 0, this is equal to 1. And negative 4 over 5 raised to the power of 0, this is equal to يوسف.
-1.
لا النيجاتيف هنا جوه البراكتس يا يوسف.
في نيجاتيف بره.
لا أنا بتكلم على نمبر 4.
0 هتبقى 1.
1. لكن number 5 النيجاتيف is outside, so it's going to be negative 1. Thank you, Yusuf. Okay, and for number 6, what's going to be the answer of negative 2ab to the power of 3, 3a to the power of 5b, all raised to the power of 0? Rodina?
-1.
Negative 1. Why negative 1? Because the negative is outside of the bracket. Thank you.
0.
3x to the power of 0. What's going to be the answer of this, يا جودي؟
1.
لا. ليه بقى؟ أنا عندي هنا 3 times x to the power of 0. هو أنا لو قلت لك I have 3x to the power of 0 دي معناها إن كل الترم is to the power of 0 ف you are going to put 1. لكن هنا كأني بقول لك 3 times x to the power of 0. So this is equal to 3. Exactly. So it is equal to 3. نخلي بالنا قوي الزيرو محطوطة على إيه بالظبط أو الباور عامة محطوطة على إيه بالظبط.
Okay.
Okay. Number 8, if x is equal to y, then 4 over y to the power of x minus y. This is going to equal, Omar?
It's equal to 1.
1.
because
ليه؟
x minus y equal to the power of 0.
Exactly. X minus y, two numbers which are the same, minus each other. So I have here to the power of 0. So the correct answer is 1. Thank you, يا عمر. Okay. Number 9, half of the number 2 to the power of 10. Who is going to answer this question? Malak?
2 to the power of 9.
Exactly. لما يقول لي half of the number, thank you يا ملك, half of the number 2 to the
Welcome.
power of 10, this means إن أنا I am dividing 2 to the power of 10 over two groups to find its half. Now I have the same base, so, and I am dividing, so 2 to the power of 10 minus 1, which is equal to 2 to the power of 9. Okay, number 10, 3 to the power of 17 plus 3 to the power of 17 plus 3 to the power of 17. This is equal to Noor.
It's gonna be no, I don't know.
طيب استني. Now, 3 to the power of 17. It's repeated by multiplication or addition?
Addition.
Addition. For how many times?
3.
طب والrepeated addition معناه ايه؟
إن
لو أنا
يعني repeated يعني هتبقى multiplication.
حلو. Multiplication by the number of times it's repeated with, احنا قلنا repeated for 3 times يعني كأني بقول 3 to the power of 17 times 3,
3.
right? يبقى
هتبقى 3 to the power of 18.
exactly, it's gonna be 3 to the power of 18. I'm multiplying same base, so 3 to the power of 17 plus 1, which is equal to 3 to the power of 18. Thank you. 4 to the power of 5 plus 4 to the power of 5 plus 4 to the power of 5 plus 4 to the power of 5. This is equal to Noor. Mustafa.
ايوه مس هتبقى 4 to the power of 5 times 4.
هتبقى 4 to the power of 5 times 4 because it's repeated with addition for 4 times. So it's going to be
4 to the power of 6.
4 to the power of 6. Thank you. Now I have in number 12, 4 to the power of x plus 4 to the power of x plus 4 to the power of x plus 4 to the power of x. This is going to equal Omar.
number B.
Number B, which is 4 to the power of x plus 1. Thank you. Now I have 4 to the power of x, and it's repeated by addition for 4 times. So as if I'm making times 4. So common base, so I have 4x plus 1. This is the correct answer. Okay, and let's go now for number 13. I have 2 to the power of 3 all to the power of 2. This is going to equal 2 to the power of Judy.
6.
6. I have here a power and the power. قلنا بيعملوا 5. I must multiply them. So this is 2 to the power of 3 times 2, which is equal to 2 to the power of 6. Thank you, dear. Number 14. 7 to the power of 2 all to the power of 4. This is equal to 7 to the power of Maryam.
8.
8. Again, I have a power and a power. بيعملوا 5. I must multiply them. So it is 7 to the power of 2 times 4, which is equal to 7 to the power of 8. Thank you, dear. Half of the number 2 over 8. Sorry, 2 to the power of 8. آدم. آدم وائل.
It's 2 to the power of 8 over 2.
Exactly, it's 2 to the power of 8 divided by 2. This is
So
equal
it's 2
to...
to the power of 8 minus 1, 2. So it's equal to 2 to the power of 7.
Exactly, thank you so much, dear.
You're
So
welcome.
the correct answer is 2 to the power of 7, which is number B. طيب can you please give me... صعب قوي يا منى ابعته دلوقتي عشان هو عندي على اللابتوب نفسه. انا كده كده هحط الشيت بس بعد ما نخلص. اوكي طيب number 16 I have 1 over 3 times 3 to the power of 9. رنا.
I'm not sure, but is it going to be 3 to the power of 9 times 1 over 3?
طيب هقول لك حاجة، هو بيقول لي 1 over 3 times 3 to the power of 9 صح؟
Yes.
احنا قلنا off معناها times من الترم الأولاني مظبوط؟ وال 3 over 9 I can put it in the form of a fraction لو حطيت تحتيها 1. تمام؟
So it's going to be 3 to the power of 9 times 1 over 3.
هتبقى 3 to the power of 9 over 3.
Over 3. So it's going to be 3 to the power of 9 minus 1 equals 3 to the power of 8.
exactly يبقى هي نفس الفكرة بتاعت الهاف وبتاعت الكوارتر بالظبط. تمام؟
Yeah.
Okay. Number 17, the quarter of 4 to the power of 16, this is going to equal to... عمر.
equal 4 to the power of 15.
4 to the power of 15. I am doing the same. 4 to the power of 16 divided by 4. So it is equal to 4 to the power of 16 minus 1. So it is 4 to the power of 15. Thank you, يا عمر. Number 8, twice the number 3 to the power of 2 equal 2 to the power of... Judy.
To the power of 6.
طيب هقول لك
Because I'm going to multiply them. So
لا ما هو ثانية واحدة، أنا عايزة أجيب twice. يعني إيه twice؟ يعني 2 times صح؟
yes.
يعني أنا I'm making 2 to the power of 3 times 2. يبقى it's equal to 2 to the power of 3 plus 1.
1, so it's equal to
2 to the
4.
power of 4. Okay?
Mhm.
تمام.
But if the 2 is to the power of 3, it's gonna be a 6, right?
إيه؟
If the 2 is going to be to the power of 3, so it's gonna be 6.
Yes.
Okay.
تمام.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, ملك. ملك.
دي 8.
بصي يا ملك، لما أقول لك 1 over 3 times 3 to the power of 9 for example, okay? Now مش ده fraction، ممكن أحط ده كده وأعمله fraction. واحنا خدنا في الفيرست term ان انا I multiply the numerator together and the denominator together when I'm multiplying fraction. يبقى عندي 3 to the power of 9 over 3 صح كده؟ Now I am having the same base and I am dividing. So I will have 3 to the power of 9 minus 1 which is equal to 3 to the power of 8. نفس الفكرة بتاعت الكوارتر بالظبط وبتاعت الهاف. اوكي يا ملك؟
اوكي.
تمام. Now let's go for number 1. The multiplicative inverse of the number negative 3 over 4 to the power of 0.
مس سارة،
نعم.
عليك كان قصدك على النمبر ايه؟ مش النمبر 19 هتبقى دي 8.
لا يا حبيبتي، انتي كنتي بتسألي في الشات على نمبر 16، فانا بعيد لك نمبر 16.
لا مش أنا.
طب اوكي تمام. امال مين كان عايز نمبر 16 يا ولاد؟ ملك محمد. طيب ملك did you get it now؟ اوكي thank you يا ملك.
مش سارة مش نمبر 19 8 برضو.
اه طيب now we are going. طب ملك خليكي بقى معايا، اعملي number 1 the multiplicative inverse of the number negative 3 over 4 to the power of 0. هيا جودي.
1.
1. First of all, I'm going to find what's negative 3 over 4 to the power of 0. This is equal to 1. Now I want to find the multiplicative inverse of 1, and the multiplicative inverse of 1 is itself, which is 1. Thank you, dear.
Yeah.
Number 2, x to the power of 2 all raised to the power of negative 3 times x to the power of 6. Nuram?
It's gonna be first we're gonna multiply 2 times negative 3, so it's gonna be x to the power of negative 6
Okay,
times x to the power of 6,
exactly.
which is gonna be equal 1.
Yani x to the power of negative 6 plus 6, this is going to be x to the power of 0, and the final answer is 1. Thank you, dear. يبقى هنا عشان we found a power and a power, so we multiply them together. Yes, يا جودي. Now we are gonna go for number 3. 7 all raised to the power of negative 2. Mariam?
Yes.
Hmm?
It will be 1 over 7 to the power of 2.
1 over 7 to the power of 2. I have a negative power I want to get rid of, so I'm going to bring it all down. So it's going to equal?
1 over 49.
Exactly. Thank you, dear. Number 4, 2 over 3 all raised to the power of 2 times 2 over 3. This is going to equal? Aya?
Where's the sheet?
معلش ثانية واحدة.
Okay.
ثانية واحدة يا بنتي.
Okay.
أيوة. 2 to
Okay.
the power of 3, 2 over 3 all to the power of 2 times 2 over 3.
Okay, since they are the same base, so it's equal to 2 over 3 all to the power of 3.
يبقى 2 to the power of 3 2 over 3 all to the power of 2 plus 1 عشان هما same base.
Yes.
واحنا قلنا لما بيبقى عندي fraction ما عليهوش power as if it is to the power of 1. So زي ما انتي قلتي هيبقى 2 over 3 to the power of 3 يبقى it is equal
Okay.
to
We're going to distribute the power, so 2 to the power of 3 over 3 to the power of 3. So it's equal to 8 over 27.
Okay, thank you so much, dear.
Welcome.
So again, since here I have same base, so I'm going to add powers because I'm multiplying. And let's go now for number 5, 3 x to the power of negative 1. Yusuf?
هتبقى 1.
طيب 3 x to the power of negative 1. أولا أنا عندي negative power صح؟
يس.
النيجاتيف باور ده موجود على الاثنين ولا على حاجة واحدة؟
على الإكس.
يبقى الإكس دي لازم أعمل فيها إيه؟
ننزلها تحت.
طب ما أنا عندي هنا coefficient، يبقى الcoefficient ده هيفضل فوق وهنزل الإكس تحتيه. أوكي؟
تمام.
تمام. Thank you يا يوسف. Number 6 6a to the power of 2x to the power of 4 over 2a to the power of 3x to the power of 3. عمر.
نعمل 6 divided 2.
يبقى الأول همسك ال coefficients أعمل لهم divided بعض. 6 divided 2 this is equal to
3.
3. Okay.
بعد كده هنعمل 8 to the power of 2 minus 8 to the power of 3.
يعني a to the power of 2
2
minus
minus
3.
3
Okay.
تبقى equals 8 to the power of negative 1.
طب خلص الأول الأكس. x to the power of 4 minus 3 يبقى كده خلاص أنت عارف 3a to the power of negative 1 x وبعدين
النيجاتيف على اللي هي ال A هننزلها تحت
تمام
تبقى 3x over A.
يبقى 3x over a exactly. Thank you يا عمر. Now I'm going to lower all hands and please if anyone have a question raise your hand. Okay, so number 7, if a to the power of negative 1 is equal to 3 over 4, then a is equal to
4 over 3.
exactly. A to the power of negative 1 is 3 over 4. So to find a, I'm going to flip the fraction so it is 4 over 3. Thank you, dear. Number 8, 3a b to the power of 2. This is all raised to the power of 3. Omar?
equal 3ab to the power of 6.
لا. ممكن تركز معايا بقى؟
ماشي.
يا عمر انت بتتسرع كتير قوي يا عمر ها؟ ركز.
اعمل ايه؟
بتتسرع كتير قوي. مش البراكت ده كله raised to the power of 3؟ تمام؟
27 a to the power of 3 b to the power of 6.
يبقى ال 3 دي هعمل لها distribution على ال A وعلى ال B سوري على ال 3 وعلى ال A وعلى ال B to the power of 2 يبقى عندي 3 to the power of 3 A to the power of 3 ال B عندي already to the power of 2 هحط لها power تاني يبقى times 3 يبقى زي ما انت قلت 27 A to the power of 3 B to the power of 6 نركز يا عمر.
حاضر.
ماشي يا حبيبي. Okay, number 9. 3x to the power of negative 2y all raised to the power of 0 over 4 to the power of 0x to the power of negative 2y. Aya?
Okay. Since all the numerator is a to the power of 0, so it's equal to 1.
Exactly. So numerator عندي 1 علشان it's all raised to the power of 0.
Okay. And 4 to the power of 0 is also equal to 1. And x to negative 2 is going to be, I'm going to put it x negative 2y, and then I'm going to flip it. So the answer is going to be equal to x squared y over y.
Exactly. Thank you so much. طيب تاني احنا علشان هنا النيوميريتور بتاعي كله is raised to the power of 0. أي حاجة raised to the power of 0 is equal to 1. وعلشان في الدينومينيتور عندي 4 to the power of 0 دي كأنها 1 فمش هتختلف عشان كده مش هحطها. يبقى عندي now x to the power of negative 2y. This is my denominator. احنا قلنا أي حاجة فيها negative I must to get rid of. بغير مكانها. النيجاتيف هنا تحت يبقى I'm going to bring it up. So it is x to the power of 2 over y. And again, I'm going to lower hands. And if anyone have a question before we proceed, please raise your hand. Mariam?
Negative 4 over 25.
Oh, and you already answered number 1 and number 10? Mariam?
Yes.
طيب يبقى first of all we are going to find negative 2 over 5 all raised to the power of 2. Here I have a negative number. I will go and look for the power. The power is even. So the negative is cancelled. And I will have now 2 to the power of 2 over 5 to the power of 2, which is 4 over 25. Now I want to find the additive inverse. فالadditive inverse بتاعها يا مريم هيبقى
-4/25.
negative 4/25. طب والمالتيبليكاتيف انفرس بتاعها هيبقى ايه؟ هيا آدم.
25/4.
25/4 عشان المالتيبليكاتيف inverse is the flip of the fraction. Thank you. Number 11, the additive inverse of -3/4 raised to the power of 3 is Mustafa.
Miss, first I'll flip the fraction.
ليه هعمل flip refraction؟ عايز اطلع additive inverse.
سوري اتلخبطت معلش.
ولا يهمك.
هيفضل نيجاتيف.
طيب
هيفضل نيجاتيف.
بالظبط.
النمبر هيفضل
انا
نيجاتيف
عندي
عشان
هنا -3/4 بالظبط raised to the power of 3. الباور عندي هنا odd، يبقى النيجاتيف هتفضل زي ما هي. يبقى عندي negative 3 to the power of 3 over 4 to the power of 3. يبقى it's equal to 27/64. تمام؟ الاديتيف انفرس بقى بتاع النمبر ده هو ايه؟
طالما هي هتفضل نيجاتيف 27/64.
تمام.
يبقى كده ده الألف.
يبقى الاديتيف انفرس بتاعها 27/64. Thank you.
والمالتيبليكاتيف انفرس هيبقى الفليب اوف ذا فراكشن.
flip of the fraction بالنيجاتيف ولا بالبوزيتيف؟ هو الانسر
لا بالنيجاتيف عادي.
بالظبط. عندي هنا النيجاتيف 27/64 يبقى هتبقى النيجاتيف 64/27. Thank you يا مصطفى. Now I want to find the additive inverse of -2/5 all raised to the power of 0. عمر؟
نايس. هو هتبقى equal -1.
أول حاجة -2/5 to the power of 0 is equal to 1. The additive inverse of 1, exactly as you said, is -1. Thank you. And what's going to be the multiplicative inverse يا عمر؟
equal 1.
equal 1 عشان 1 المultiplicative inverse بتاعها 1. Thank you يا حبيبي. Okay, number 13. Yusuf, the additive inverse of -2/5 to the power of 0.
1.
طب بالظبط أنا عندي هنا -2/5 to the power of 0. النيجاتيف is outside of the bracket, so the answer is going to be -1. The additive inverse of -1 is 1. And the multiplicative inverse يا يوسف؟
-1.
-1. Thank you.
Welcome.
نفتكر كده إن ال1 المultiplicative inverse بتاعها 1 والنيجاتيف 1 المultiplicative inverse بتاعها -1. Let's go now for number 14. -3/7 all raised to the power of 7 divided by 3, sorry, -3/5 all raised to the power of 7 divided by 3/5 all raised to the power of 5. Judy.
Yes.
Hmm?
We have same base, but in the first one we have negative, and the power is odd, so it's gonna be as it is.
Hmm?
So -3/5 to the power of 7 minus 5,
Hmm?
which equals -3/5 to the power of 2.
تمام. يبقى الأول حاجة كده نمشي بالترتيب. احنا قلنا ان انا عندي هنا negative number raised to an odd power، فالنيجاتيف دي هتطلع بره صح؟
Yes.
يبقى عندي negative. now البيس بتاعي same 3 over 5 and I'm making division, so to the power of 7 minus 5. So this is equal to negative 3 over 5 to the power of 2.
And then
النيجاتيف
we're
طبعا
going
زي ما هي 3 to the power of 2 5 to the power of 2 تبقى equal negative 9 over 25. Thank you, Habit.
to
Now number 15, negative 4 over 5 to the power of 6 divided by 4 over 5 to the power of 4. Who's going to answer this question? عمر؟
يس مس
مم.
هنشيل النيجاتيف اللي في 4 over 5 عشان ال 6 even
even
number.
so النيجاتيف دي مش موجودة، يبقى أنا عندي common base
أيوه
4 over 5 raised to the power of ها؟
to the power of 6
مم.
هنعمل multiply، هنعمل flip، هنعمل 5 over 4
طب ثانية
to the
واحدة،
power of 4.
ليه؟ لا ليه؟ بص مش أنا دلوقتي هنا حبيبي عندي common base صح؟ خلاص خد 4 over 5 as a common base وsubtract the powers، يبقى 6 minus 4 يبقى it is equal to 4 over 5 to the power of 2.
تبقى 8
تبقى 6.
الفورة تبقى to the power of 2 تبقى 16 over 25.
تمام فهمت كده يا عمر؟ يبقى لما بيبقى
فهمت.
عندي common base مش لازم اشقلب حاجة بقى، بدل هما
تمام
الاثنين
ماشي.
common.
اوكي تمام.
Okay. Now in number 16, x to the power of 9 times x to the power of negative 4. مريم؟
Yes. It will be x to the power of 9 plus 4.
x to the power of 9 plus هاخده بنفس الساين بتاعته يا مريم negative 4. Okay? So it is equal to x to the power of 5. خلي بالي بس ان انا باخد الباور بالساين بتاعته. تمام؟ ماشي يا حبيبتي. Now let's go for number 17. Simplify negative 2 over 6 times 2 over 4 all over negative 2 to the power of 8. يوسف؟
نعمل negative 2 to the power of 6 plus 4.
طيب أول حاجة خالص عندي هنا negative number و even power so cancel النيجاتيف.
وال 8 برضه.
بالظبط فكنسل النيجاتيف يبقى أنا كده عندي common base 2 right؟
نعم.
So it is 2 to the power of 6
power of 6 plus 4 minus 8.
minus 8 يبقى it is
تبقى 2
equal
to the power of 2.
which is equal to 4. هنا بس يا يوسف أنا عارفة أنت كنت عايز الأول تطلع up لوحده وبعدين down لوحده، بس بدل أنا عندي في الدينومينيتور واحد بس ممكن تشتغل بالطريقة دي عادي.
تمام.
Okay؟ تمام. ماشي يا عمر. اوكي. Okay, let's go now for number 18. 2 to the power of 3 times 2 to the power of negative 1 over 2 to the power of negative 4 times 2 to the power of 5. Adam?
2 to the power of 3 plus negative 4.
يبقى 2 to the power of 3 plus negative 4. احنا قلنا لما يبقى عندي في الدينومينيتور تحت اكتر من واحد هطلع الاول كل واحد لوحده.
down we write 2 negative 4 plus 5.
Okay, so now I'm going to have 2 to the power of negative 1
and
2 to the power of
1.
1. So now I am dividing. يبقى عندي 2 to the power of negative 1 minus 1. This is equal to 2 to the power of negative 2.
2.
ها بدل عندي negative power
So
ما تروح الدنيا وامشي.
وهتبقى 1 over 2 to the power of 2
So it is 1 over
over 4.
4. Thank you dear.
Good.
يبقى تاني بس عشان ابقى clear لما I have in the numerator and the denominator أهم حاجة عندي denominator. الدينومينيتور عندي لما يبقى فيه more than one find each one alone. الأول أطلع النيوميريتور لوحده والدينومينيتور لوحده and then I perform الأوبريشن بتاعتي. وأول ما بيبقى عندي حاجة فيها negative power في الآخر I go and change the negative power. مش بحب أشوف negative powers موجودة عندي إلا لو في المالتيبل choice جايلي فيه negative. دي حاجة تانية. يعني لو أنا بحل question زي دي في المالتيبل choice وعندي 2 to the power of negative 2 هي اللي موجودة وهي اللي correct answer ودي أنا مش لاقيها يبقى I'm going to choose 2 to the power of negative 2. Okay? Let's go now for number 19. 3 to the power of 3 times 3 to the power of negative 4 over 3 to the power of negative 2 times 3 to the power of 5. آية.
Okay, so أنا هعملها بطريقة تانية. أنا هنزل 3 negative 3 to the power of negative 4 هنزلها تحت وهطلع مكانها 3 to the power of negative 2 عشان تبقى positive.
تمام يبقى تعملي 3 to the power of 3 times
Yes,
3 to the power of 2 over 3 to the power of 4 times 3 to the power of 5.
Okay. فالنومينيتور هيبقى equal to 3 3 to the power of 3 plus 2 which is equal to 3 over 5 والdenominator يبقى 3 plus 3 to the power of 4 plus 5 which is equal to 3 over 9 فهنعمل subtraction هتبقى equal 3 to the power of negative 4.
طيب معلش يبقى 3 to the power of negative 4 وبعدين
هنعمل flip هتبقى 1 over 3 over 4 which is equal to 1 over 81.
Exactly. Thank you so much. ميرسي يا حبيبتي. This is equal to 1 over 81. طيب I'm going to lower hands. If you have a question, please raise your hand. يوسف.
بس أنا في نمبر 19 ممكن أعملها بالطريقتين صح؟
طبعا الاثنين هيجيبوا لك نفس الانسر في الاخر.
تمام.
مش هتفرق خالص. اوكي تمام. Okay, and now for number 20. 4 to the power of 3 times 4 to the power of negative 7 over 4 to the power of negative 3 times 4 to the power of 2. Mariam?
Yes. It will be 4 to the power of 3 plus 7, negative
4 to the
7.
power of 3 plus negative 7, okay.
Over 4 to the power of negative 3 plus 2.
Okay, so this is equal to 3 to the power of negative 4 over 3 to the power of negative 1. ها وبعدين
It will be 4 negative 4 minus 1.
يبقى 3 to the power of negative 4 minus negative 1.
Negative 1.
يبقى this is equal to 3 to the power of negative 4 plus 1 تبقى equal 3 to the power of
5.
negative 3.
Negative.
ما هو بصوا لو احنا بنتلخبط في موضوع النيجاتيف والبوزيتيف دول يعني من اول ما جيتي هنا اعمليها على الكالكوليتر. اكتبي على الكالكوليتر نيجاتيف 4 ماينس نيجاتيف 1 هيطلع لك على طول نيجاتيف 3. تمام يا مريم؟
تمام.
Okay, so what's gonna be the answer now?
1 over 3 to the power of 3.
هعمل flip عشان عندي negative power, so it is 1 over 20.
1 over 27.
Okay, thank you so much, Mariuma. Okay, let's go now for number 21. 7 to the power of 4 times 7 to the power of -2 over 7 to the power of 3, all is raised to the power of 2. Ali?
7 power 4 plus -2 over 7 power 3
طب
or
اوكي
power of 2.
طيب ثانية واحدة كده، انت هتعمله على كل ستيب لوحدها. تمام. 7 to the power of 4 plus -2 over 7 to the power of 3, and this is all raised to the power of 2. So now you will have 7 to the power of 2 over 7 to the power of 3, all raised to the power of 2. وبعدين
we'll multiply 2 by 2 and 2 by 3.
Okay, so you will have 7 to the power of 2 times 2 over 7 to the power of 3 times 2, right? يبقى عندي 7 to the power of 4 over 7 to the power of 6. And then?
equal
حبيبي مش أنا هنا كده عندي common base same base
equal 7 power -2.
بالظبط 7 to the power of 4 minus 6 which is equal to 7 to the power of -2 يبقى
equal 1 over 49.
1 over 49 عشان عملت flip للنيجاتيف sign. Thank you يا عمر. Thank you يا علي. يس يا مريم انتي صح. طيب يا مريم raise your hand. ايه يا مريم؟
Yes.
You are right. انا غيرت البيس فعلا، ممكن ابقى اتلخبطت فيها بينها وبين اللي فوقيها. خلاص يا مريم، يبقى انا عندي هنا هتبقى 4 to the power of
4 to the power of 3 plus -7.
يبقى 4 to the power of -4
-4 and 4 to the power of 1. No.
4 to the power of -1 تبقى equal 4 to the power of -4 minus -1
-1.
يبقى 4 to the power of -3.
It will be 1 over 4 to the power of 3.
Which is equal to 61 over 64. Thank you يا مريم.
You're welcome.
In number 22, simplify x to the power of 3 times x to the power of 5 over x to the power of 5. Then find the numerical value at x equal -3. يا عمر؟
Yes, miss. هعمل -3 minus 4 over x to the power of 5.
يبقى أنا كده في number 22 هعمل x to the power of 3 plus 4 ها؟
Yes, over x to the power of 5.
Over x to the power of 5. So I will have x to the power of 7 over x to the power of 5. تبقى equal.
Then تبقى x to the power of 7 minus to the power of 5 تبقى x to the power of 2.
Exactly. يبقى now the numerical value كام بقى؟
هحط ما بين brackets negative 3 ومن بره to the power of 2 تبقى negative 3 by negative 3 equal 9.
تمام، يبقى اهم حاجه عندي هنا النيجاتيف، يبقى النيجاتيف يدخل جوه البراكت and all raised to the power of 2 تبقى equal 9. Thank you حبيبي.
welcome.
تاني عشان الحته دي بتلخبطكم وبننقص فيها درجات. لما بيبقى عندي negative number and I want to raise it to power بحطه لازم between bracket، عشان لو انا عملته negative 3 to the power of 2 then it's going to be equal 9. لو عملت negative 3 to the power of 2 هيطلع لي negative 9. and simply power of 2 دي معناها ان انا I am repeating the multiplication, so I am doing negative 3 times negative 3. Negative times negative I must to have positive. That's why I must put it between brackets. And now let's go for number 23. b to the power of 3
The answer this one.
b to the power of 3 times b to the power of negative 4 over b to the power of negative 2 times b to the power of 5. Judy Muhammad, raise your hand please. هي جودي.
I can't understand 22 يعني يعني
انت
I don't know how to
انت لحد هنا
detect
كده، انت لحد هنا كده عندك مشكلة؟
لا بس أنا بس يعني كنت عايزة أفهم بس 22 تاني عشان مش فاهماها بصراحة.
طيب تعالي نحلها تاني مع بعض step by step. اوكي؟
اوكي.
now زي بالظبط ما بعمل في النمبرز، انا عندي كله common او same base صح؟ يبقى I have x to the power of 3 هعمل multiplication يبقى plus 4
4
over
هعمل
x to
division
the power of
minus.
5. خلينا نمشيها كده عشان ما نتلخبطش. يبقى عندي x to the power of 7 over x to the power of 5. Now I am dividing صح؟ يبقى x to the
So it's
power of
gonna
7 minus 5 which is equal to x to the power of 2. تمام؟ خلصت لحد هنا بيقول لي find the numerical value لما ال x is equal to negative 3. يبقى أنا am going to take away the x and write instead of it negative 3. يبقى ال value بتاعة ال x squared equal ال x بنيجاتيف 3 all squared this is equal to 9. كل اللي بقوله إن النيجاتيف بدل عندي هنا negative number لازم أحطه between bracket قبل ما أحطه squared عشان يطلع لي positive number.
اوكي.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Now number 23. Adam.
We will get the negative 2 up and the negative 4 down.
تمام اوكي، يعني انت عايز تعمل b to the power of 3 times b to
Multiply
the
b
power
to
of
the power
2
of 2
over b to the power of 4 times b to the power of 5. انت قررت ان انت تشقلب مكان النيجاتيفز علشان يبقوا positive. اوكي and
So
then
it's gonna be b to the power of 3 plus 2
يبقى عندي هنا b to the power of 3 plus 2 over
over b to the power of 4 plus 5.
Okay, and this is equal to
b to the power of 5 over b to the power of 9.
Okay.
Which is equal b to the power of 5 minus 9.
Exactly.
Equal b to the power of negative 4. Equal 1 over b to the power of 4.
تمام. Now I want to find the value when b is equal to negative 1.
It's gonna be 1 over negative 1 to the power of 4.
It's going to be يبقى الفاليو بتاعي 1 over negative 1 to the power of 4 يعني
1
over 1. تمام. تمام يا عمر.
تمام.
آدم صح؟ سوري. تمام يا آدم كده؟
تمام.
Thank you يا آدم. طب نخلي بالنا في التشويسز ان لو الانسر بتاعي في الاخر طلع 1 ممكن يحط لي بداله اي حاجه to the power of 0. يعني ممكن يحط لي في التشويسز b to the power of 0 ما هي كمان equal to 1. تمام. I'm going to lower hands. حد عنده any question يا ولاد؟ رودينا.
Yes, miss. I don't really understand the process of number 21.
21.
Yes.
طيب خليكي معايا بصي بقى.
Okay.
عندك حاجة من الاتنين، يا إما الأول تمسكي الباور ده وتوزعيه على كل واحد فيهم، وأنا بشوفها صعبة شوية لأن ساعات ممكن نتلخبط. أوكي؟
Okay.
بدل انتي جوه عندك common base في كله 7. أوكي؟ يبقى افتحي براكت وخدي بقى عندك 7 to the power of 4، بعدين أنا هعمل multiply يبقى plus negative 2، وبعدين أنا هعمل division يبقى minus 3. تمام؟ and
Okay.
it's all raised to the power of 2 تاني عشان الباور اللي عندي هنا ده.
Okay.
ماشي، يبقى أنا هنا كده عندي إيه؟ 7 to the power of 4 plus negative 2 2 minus 3، يبقى كده هيبقى عندي negative 1. تمام؟ all raised to the power of 2. هنا بقى جه عندي power وpower، قلنا power وpower اللي بيعملوا 5 دول لازم أعمل لهم multiply، صح؟
Yes.
يبقى you have now 7 to the power of negative 2. negative power أنا مش بحبها، هي فوق هنزلها تحت، يبقى 1 over 7 to the power of 2 which is 1 over 49.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome حبيبتي. يوسف.
Miss, you unmuted me.
سوري يا جودي، ابتدي بيوسف الأول. بعدين يوسف.
بس أنا عندي question في الجيومتري، ممكن أسأله في آخر السيشن.
في آخر السيشن. تمام. جودي.
Yes.
Yes حبيبتي.
Miss, هو في number 23.
number 23 ها.
هو مش ال division is not commutative.
وأنا عملت division commutative.
لا سوري، اللي هو احنا مش مفروض لما نيجي نقلب الفراكشن بنقلبها كلها مش واحدة واحدة.
لا أنا هطلع النيجاتيف وأنزل البوزيتيف بس. انتي جربي حتى تعمليها بالسيم واي بتاعتك العادية، هتلاقيها طالعة نفس الانسر. اوكي. جودي.
مس هو في number 21 هو أنا ينفع أجيب الأنسر كلها وبعد كده أبقى أعمل multiply ل 2
زي ما أنا عملت هنا كده.
لا بس أنا مش قصدي كده، أنا قصدي إن أنا أجيب الريزلت كلها يعني بعد كده أبقى أعمل بقى multiply ل 2 بقى في الآخر.
ماشي، هو انت هتجيبي الريزلت كلها لحد ما توصلي ان 7 to the power of negative 1 وبعدين يبقى عندك هنا to the power of 2. مش انت قصدك كده؟ تمام، ما هي دي زي ما انا حليتها اخر مرة.
اوكي ثانك يو.
ويلكم يا حبيبتي. طيب بس عايزة اعمل ريفيجن على حاجة. Now if I have for example 25 over 36, this is equals to 5 over 6 to the power of what? We'll find the volume of a cube whose h length is 3a to the power of 4 over 5 centimeter. Two to the power of 5 times 3 to the power of 2 over 3 to the power of 4 times 2 to the power of 3, all raised to the power of negative 1. X to the power of 3, y to the power of negative 4, z to the power of negative 2. If 2 over 3 to the power of negative 3 is equal to 3 over 2 to the power of x, then x equal -1, 1/4, all raised to the power of 3. Let's begin with the first one. 25/36 all is equal to 5/6 raised to the power of. Who's going to answer this question? Please raise your hand. Ali.
2.
2 exactly. جبنا 2 منين؟ انت برافو عليك. هي it's raised to the power of 2. Now ميرسي علي. In this type of question I want to see ال 25 دي جواها كام 5؟ فقلنا بعمل division. 25 divided by 5 this is equal to 5. 5 divided by 5 this is equal to 1. يبقى 5 is repeated for 2 times. لو انا جيت شفت 25 فيها كام 5 لقيتها repeated 2 times نفس الانسر هيجي لي مع 36. ال 36 فيها كام 6 يبقى divided by 6. 6 divided by 6 1 يبقى 6 is repeated also for 2 times. Now number 2, find the volume of the cube whose edge length is 3a to the power of 4 over 5 centimeter. يا عمر.
Yes, miss. الفوليوم equal edge by edge by edge أو side by side by side فتبقى 3 e to the power of 4 over 5 كلها to the power of 3.
طيب يبقى الفوليوم equal s times s times s أو ممكن أقول s to the power of 3. s دي اللي هي السايد length أو الادج. تمام؟ يبقى زي ما أنت قلت هو مديني السايد length يبقى عشان أطلع الفوليوم هعمل 3a to the power of 4 over 5 all raised to the power of 3. وبعدين يا عمر؟
هعمل 3 مرة by 3 ومرة by a فتبقى
مش
27.
هوزع الباور عليهم.
هتبقى 27 e to the power of 12 over 5.
يبقى عندي 3 to the power of 3 over a to the power of 4 وأوريدي لازم هديها باور تاني يبقى هعمله times 3 over 5 to the power of 3 تبقى equal 27 a to the power of 12
over 125.
125 وما ننساش إن الفوليوم سنتيمتر كيوب. ممكن جدا في التشويسز بتاعتي ألاقي كاتب لي دي وكاتب لي كده. اخد بالي قوي من اليونت. طبعا انا calculating volume فما ينفعش اخد اللي بالسنتيمتر سكويرد لازم هختار اللي بالسنتيمتر كيوبد. تمام؟ Thank you يا عمر. Okay, 2 to the power of 5 times 3 to the power of 2 over 3 to the power of 4 times 2 to the power of 3 all to the power of -1. Judy.
First I'm going to do in 2 يعني the upper one first.
طيب ما هو مش هينفع اعمل الupper one عارفه ليه؟ ما انا عندي هنا 2 و 3 مش common base.
اوكي.
طب انت عارفه اسهل حاجه عندك هنا تعمليها هي ايه؟ انت الباور
ان
عندك
انا اعمل
هنا
ال 5 times -1 علشان هي كده
عندك
هتبقى
هنا
نيجاتيف.
طب ما انا هقول لك ال5 عندك هنا النيجاتيف 1 هو الباور. تمام؟ نيجاتيف 5 نيجاتيف 1 شقلبي بقى الباور البتاع على طول يبقى 3 to the power of 4 times 2 to the power of 3 over 2 to the power of 5 times 3 to the power of 2. عامله لهم فليب كده you get rid of the negative خالص. مشيتيه تماما. اوكي. وبعدين start بقى خدي البيزز اللي زي بعض. يبقى انا عندي دول بيزز زي بعض يبقى هكتب ايه؟
هعمل 3 to the power of 4 minus 2.
exactly وعندي هنا دول مع بعض time
2 to the power of 3 minus 5.
يبقى this is equal to 3 to the power of 2 times 2 to the power of -2.
2 yes.
وبعدين
Then I'm going to يعني هعمل تايمز بقى لل 3 وال 2.
لا طبعا، هقول لك ليه. عندي هنا
إيه؟
نيجاتيف وهم اصلا not
هشيلها
same
في الأول.
base.
هشيلها يبقى 3 over 3 to the power of 2 over 2 to the power of 2.
Exactly, but it's equal to 9 over 4. This is the final answer. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Welcome, dear. Now I have x to the power of 3, y to the power of negative 4, z to the power of negative 2. What's going to be the answer of this question? Mariam?
3.
لا 3 ازاي يا مريم؟ انت عندك هنا variables كلهم not the same صح؟
Yes.
عندي الفاريبل ده هو اللي بالبوزيتيف فهيفضل زي ما هو، وبعدين دول بالنيجاتيف صح؟
Yes.
يبقى هجيبهم تحت، يبقى y to the power of 4 z to the power of 2. يبقى هو ده الفاينل انسر بتاعي. الحاجات اللي بالنيجاتيف هي اللي هنزلها تحت. تمام؟
Okay.
ماشي يا حبيبتي. If 2 over 3 to the power of negative 3 is equal to 3 over 2 to the power of x, then x is equal to Ali?
3.
3 exactly. هنا كان الباور بالنيجاتيف فعمل هنا flip للفراكشن فالباور بتاعي هيبقى positive. Thank you. Negative 1 over 4 all raised to the power of 3. This is going to equal Yusuf
1 over 64.
تمام. يبقى الأول معلش ثانية واحدة، يبقى أنت كده هيبقى عندك negative 5 over 4 all raised to the power of 3.
تمام.
تمام، لأن الأول لازم أحول الميكسد نمبر ل improper fraction.
ليه proper fraction؟
تمام. you change it to improper fraction. عندي هنا power odd وعندي هنا negative. يبقى النيجاتيف هتفضل زي ما هي و 5 to the power of 3 over 4 to the power of 3 تبقى negative 125 over
64.
64. تمام.
تمام.
اوكي. طيب anyone have a question before we end the session? يوسف بس انت عندك question في في الالجبرا في الجيومتري sorry. تمام يا علي, you can leave if you don't have a question. جودي عاصر. Judy, what's your question? Judy? طيب اوكي. يوسف please يلا بقى raise your hand and tell me the geometry question اللي انت عندك.
هو بيقول لي مثلا question بيقول لي if a rhombus ACB equal
A B C D ها؟
ايوه
مالك؟
الرhombus لو ACB equal 64 يبقى الانجل دي equal what؟
طب معلش
هو ده
ثانية واحدة ثانية واحدة. ادي الرومبس تمام. A B C D. انت قلت الانجل ايه بقى؟
انجل ACB
64. طب احنا قلنا الاول حاجة ان الرومبس الدياجونال بتاعها divides the angle into two equal parts. يبقى البارت ده كمان 64 هو bisect الانجل. الكويستشن بقى هو عايز انهي انجل؟
دي
angle D. طيب angle D و angle C they are consecutive angles so they should sum up to give me 180. يبقى هعمل 180 minus 64
116
plus 64. 64 plus 64.
لا 64 plus 64 يبقى 128. 128 minus 180 يبقى 52.
تمام كده. يبقى انت عندك two shapes الدياجونالز بتاعتهم بتعمل bisecting للانجل الرومبس والسكوير. تمام.
تمام.
اوكي.
Thank you, sir.
welcome حبيبي. Now, does anyone have a question before we end the session? Okay, so see you group A tomorrow إن شاء الله. جروب بي اللي مش هيجي المدرسة بكرة أو اللي مش جاي المدرسة بكرة، بكرة أنا هحل الامتحانات في المدرسة بتاعة المعاصر المجمعة، فاللي عايز يطبع الكويزز دي الإكزامز دي عشان يحلها معانا. أوكي تمام. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.